Hello everyone, welcome once again to another segment of the Hindu Explainer series. I am Kushagra Goel and very warm greetings from Dr. Tutorial. So, this is the CLAT week. We begin now the countdown to the CLAT examination for all the viewers of the newspaper series for CLAT 2021. And if you are one of them, my advice to you now is that you should stop gathering new information. Don't focus on it, leave it, alright? Use your time to revise. Don't waste time on gathering new information. It is not going to help, alright? All you need to do is now focus particularly on your revision, alright? But at the same time, now for aspirants of CLAT 2022 and 2023 and beyond, alright? Now is your time to start reading the newspaper comprehensively. Right now is the time that you need to know what is happening, why has this happened, how is this interrelated, what is this news about. All right, so let's dive into today's newspaper. On the front page, so we have, so today also marks the beginning of the parliament session for the year. All right, this is the monsoon session. We have three sessions of the parliament every year. All right, the budget session, the monsoon session, and the winter session. Over the years, the total sitting of the house has reduced. However, yesterday there was an all party meet. The prime minister attended it for 9 minutes, addressed and stated that the government is ready to discuss all issues in a constructive manner. All right, apart from this, on the front page, nothing of real note for us. Okay, specific news related to political events, for example, Navjot Singh Sidhu, former cricketer, becoming Punjab Congress chief, not relevant for us. All right, however, on the right hand side is the picture of Danish Siddiqui being laid to rest at the Jamia Millia Islamia, the Reuters reporter who was shot dead during attacks by the Taliban in Afghanistan. So he was welcomed home and was laid to rest yesterday. May God give him peace. And he and his pictures taught us compassion, empathy, and the value of truth. On that note, moving on the front page, apart from this, nothing of real note. Now, all these news that we have from specific regions, all right, once again, they are not that relevant for us from the CLAT examination. Why not? Because these are specific news, and until and unless they become national importance, they are not relevant to us, all right. On that note, so let's move on to the editorial segment. Now, the editorial segment is important from two perspectives, all right. One, you're reading, and second, about information gathering. So on the left hand side, the editorial, leaving the past behind, is important from Afghanistan conflict. All right, two meetings took place yesterday over the past week. First, foreign ministers meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. SCO is the regional organization for peace. All right, this that is their primary mandate, and they talked about how Afghanistan's past cannot be its future. That is, whatever has happened in the previous regime of Taliban, that cannot be repeated all over again. The second meeting was related to the resumption of peace talks. All right, that is also equally important. All right, both the events are around the issue of Taliban's regime being radical and not letting its position or its territory being used as a terror launchpad. Pakistan's support for these terrorist organizations is well known to the world now, and therefore the meeting talked about how the governments targeted Pakistan to ensure that this does not happen in the future anymore. Regional powers are now going to take a lead to ensure that the region does not fall into a civil war. All right. So therefore, this is around the Afghanistan issue. Then on the right hand side is the editorial about a tolerant India can be majoritarian. All right. It talks about the dichotomy based on the Pew research. All right, so this is generally important in the sense of political theory, all right, and what is happening in the country. Then on the right hand side, a new chapter in Nepal's quest for political stability. Now that the new prime minister has received confidence vote, finally the state is out of KP Sharma Oli's shadow. All right, he left the house the editorial lists out of how, similar to the lines of ruling as a king, he single-handedly tried to ensure and break away the constitutional mandates. He continuously exposed it. However, the Supreme Court has stood up to it, all right, protecting Article 76, Clause 5 of the Constitution, putting and telling the President of the country of how they should not act as mere puppets and not above the Constitution, all right. Then on the left hand side, sensitive and precise. This is regarding the new bill that can be tabled this during this monsoon session about trafficking, all right. Then on the op-ed page on the right hand side, humanity is a fulcrum for journalism. This is reader's editorial, not that it is in reference to Danish Siddiqui passing away and how photojournalists bore witness to our times. Then on the left hand side, trying to get the economic theory and the economic value of a lockdown, all right, whether it is worth it, how do we make them more nuanced to reduce the cost on economy. Then on the left hand side, time to build a valuable economy. This is in criticism that despite 30 years of new reforms in the country, when a pandemic hit, our country was in dire need of foreign assistance. This is something that needs to be addressed, all right. The data point points out about how vaccination is slowly picking up, all right, in the country, but a lot needs to be done. Then on the right hand side is a news: Pegasus spyware used to snoop on journalists. A report has been published by Amnesty International, all right, which lists out, it was first published in France, which lists out that Pegasus software, an Israeli software that is only given to national governments, has been used to spy on approximately 1,500 journalists, judges, political opposition, all right. And in India, approximately 300 people have been targeted under this, all right. The names of the journalists have been leaked. However, the names of the constitutional authorities have not. The Indian government has denied snooping on its own citizens. Such a snooping will be violation of Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, all right. Then moving on, apart from this, is all of this is political news, all right, what is happening, not that relevant for us. Okay, then Supreme Court mulls limit to role as policy watchdog. This is a constitutional discussion, all right. So you all know constitution is part of your preparation. There are three limbs in the constitutional structure of us: executive, legislature, and judiciary. The judiciary is a watchdog on the activities of the legislature and executive. But can the judiciary actually question whether this policy should be applied or that policy? So this is the article discussing that. The judiciary, for example, before the new vaccine policy was brought in, the Supreme Court was the one that questioned the government of how it is a violation of Article 14. But it stopped before issuing orders to the central government to adopt a policy. Similarly, regarding lockdowns, regarding medical facility availability, the Supreme Court has said the executive should do its job, but has stopped short of actually issuing these orders, all right. However, it has stated that the court cannot be a mere spectator when lives are or rights are being exploited, all right. So this is a fine balance in terms of separation of power and the system of check and balances in the constitution, all right. So this is the one that you should give a read. Then moving on the world affairs, all right. So the one is that Taliban leader, the one who is leading the talks of Taliban, is Hibatullah Akhundzada. He claimed that Taliban is committed to the Doha talks. Doha talks are between Afghanistan and Taliban government, all right. They are a part to ensure a political solution to the conflict in the country, to prevent it from falling into a civil war, all right. Then moving on, apart from this, Nepal's new prime minister wins confidence vote. He secured 165 votes out of 275 in the house, which shows he has majority. Then the Great Barrier Reef or the Coral Barrier Reef has been placed on UNESCO list for World Heritage Sites under endangered list. All right, that these UNESCO World Heritage Sites are now endangered. In this, there has been a political mudslinging whether China, who is heading the chair right now regarding the UN cultural agencies meet, whether it was part of the political posturing between the two countries. Post COVID 19, during the time and since Australia joining Quad, diplomatic relationship between China and Australia has deteriorated. All right, so it is in that regard this event was there. And then the Kansas Film Festival. So the second women director to win the award, which is the Palme d'Or, which is the highest award that is granted to a director for the movies that they present at the film festival. In that regard, Julia Ducour, now the 37-year-old French director, has become the second female director to win at the film festival. All right, her film Titan has been the one. The first women director was New Zealand's Jane Campion. All right. Then moving on the sporting list, now is the clock towards the Olympic Games in Tokyo. All right, so in that regard, different articles chasing down the near misses, the chance of medals. Neeraj Chopra, the javelin thrower, has come up as one who has the highest chance of securing a medal in athletics. All right. Apart from this, on the sporting side, nothing of real note. So on that note, in terms of today's newspaper, the one regarding Afghanistan, the editorial, and then on the world affairs, they become important. Then secondly, you need to be aware of the check and balances between the judiciary and the executive. All right, and thirdly, regarding the Pegasus software. On that note, thank you so much. See you in the next segment.